so many ideas and so much love that I want to pour into you guys. And Jim and I were talking about how can we reach people globally and share with them all of the greatness that we get to see in our life all the time. He called me last night and he was like a little kid. He was so excited about doing this show. And we were talking about, I told him that earlier during the day that I had gone somewhere and it just validated what we were doing. And then what did you say to me about validation?
I don't remember.
It was something about...
I say so many things.
You do. And you guys will find this on and on as we come into the show. But he was saying that everything that you look at will validate what your purpose is supposed to be, if that's my perspective, is what I heard you saying. And so that like when you're doing something, and if you just look for what's right, and then you'll find it. So like just keeping your hope, keeping your faith, and even if you're feeling down about something, if you just look and you're open to it, you'll be validated on you're on the right path. So is there anything like...
Yeah, I mean, I think where I was coming from with that was just making sure that you're, as present in every moment that you're in, with whatever you're doing. So the more present you are and the more grounded in that faith, love, and hope and whatever it is that you're doing, that's going to validate that moment in your life. And, it's a beautiful thing when you're able to, be able to see that. You can find so much joy in everything that you do. So I think that was a lot of my excitement was last night was like, this is real. And everything was like happening like right now. Like, oh, we're shooting tomorrow?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Sharice is dancing in the background there, and Hannah's going around taping. And then he hung up, and like 20 minutes later, I got a phone call, and I'm so excited. I'm like, okay. So it's awesome. We have been talking, what was it, when did we go to that show? April, January?
A couple weeks ago?
No, the one prior, when we sat down, we talked about doing something globally. Like not together, and he came up with the idea to do this show, so I'm gonna give him all the credit for this, because he's like, we should do a show, and I thought he was being a smart ass, and he really was being honest. So here we roll. So what's like some of your best world advice that you would want to give somebody about life? Like, what would you say to your younger self?
Oh man, to my younger self. That's a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
I think just going right back to what I was talking about is just making sure that whatever you're doing, that you're finding joy and find love within that moment for yourself, and then be able to like celebrate that with everybody around you. I mean, it's like what is like it's just so lonely trying to do things by yourself, and I think especially nowadays with so much technology and the way that even what we're doing here, this can be lonely.
Yeah.
We're
right.
speaking to a camera.
Yeah.
Even
but we
though
got
we're
great
here,
people
right?
back
We got
here.
amazing people around. But this is hopefully this is whatever it is that you get from this show, you take that through your day and be able to express that and share that with your loved ones, your friends, and just making sure that you're present with your friends. There's a lot of Yeah. I was just sharing with somebody last night. We were at dinner, and
Purple Pig. You always know where Jim is because on Instagram there's a picture. So make sure you follow him.
Just how short life is,
mm-hmm.
right? So when I was younger, there was a lot of deaths that we dealt with, unfortunately, when we were in high school, just after high school, with close friends and family. And then I was like last year, I was thinking, damn, it's been a while since I've experienced that type of loss.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, like this year, it's been like one after another, like close friends and people I know. And I know somebody right now that's, in the hospital, not doing so well. And it just brings everything back into perspective, just making sure that, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So just making sure that you call your family, call your friends, and make sure you tell them that you love them and how much they mean to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's honestly, tonight I'm going back to my hometown, where I grew up at, and we're going to not the animal shelter. We will be going to the animal shelter because I love the animal shelter. But we're going to the homeless shelter, and we're going to cook for them. And it's crazy because one block over is where I grew up, and my dad bought this house thinking we were going into this beautiful mansion, and a guy got killed in his front yard, like the week that we got the house. So what he remembered growing up that neighborhood was, and then what the neighborhood was when we moved in there, were two different things. So instantly the fence went up, hedges went to, cover everything. But we never forgot where we came from. We always kept that hope and love. So we always had big cookouts, and we brought a bunch of people over there so other people could see that even though around you is one way, that doesn't mean that you has to be that way, and so still celebrate life and still do things. And I love that we go back and we go to the homeless shelter and we cook, because we give them hope and faith. And I always tell them, I'm like, guys, see that house right there? That's where I grew up at. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. So just being able to do that, and no matter what your circumstances is, if you're standing in a storm, the storm isn't inside of you, So just do what you need to do. Reach out to us, We're going to start giving you guys homework every week. And what we want you to do is on the comments and all that good stuff, or email us and just say, hey, this is what I did for my homework this week. And guys, this is all meant to be really, really positive and lift everybody up, and then share it with someone, because it takes one person, just one person, to have some faith in you and to believe, and then the life just rolls and rolls and rolls. So you got anything you want to add?
Yeah. Getting back to that question about my younger self, like with that being present, it's also opportunity. Just like looking for opportunity within every moment, especially when times are dark and it seems chaotic and there's not any light around you. It's like, where is the opportunity here for growth? Because it's all around us. So just look within yourself and be able to find that opportunity on what can you gain to to share that story with somebody else, and be able to help them out as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I want to give you the homework. So you probably get two homeworks. So I want to give you the homework as to what do you see that's right in your life, like today, tomorrow. Just message us and put it on their comments below and be like, hey, you know what, from our conversation, that we heard you say that I went and called my grandma, or I went and saw my grandma in the nursing home, or just something, some little thing, so that you can be the light in somebody's eye for that moment. Even if you're in a dark space and you don't want to turn up your light for yourself, turn it up for somebody else. So that's your homework, is to turn up your light from me.
Yeah, and I would like everybody to be, before you get out of bed in the morning, think of 3 things that you're grateful for, and and say it out loud. Thank you, for whatever that is. For me, it's usually the same thing. It's my family, my friends, the opportunity that's going to be there for that day, and then thanking God for just being able to wake up that morning. So, and just getting grounded in that. You wake up in a state of gratitude, go through the day. So I challenge everybody to do that before they get out of bed.
Yeah, and then send us your 3 things. I mean, think about it. You say those 3 things and you share them, and then somebody's going to look at it and be like, you know what, I forgot to thank God that I woke up this morning, because I took that for granted. And then it's just going to snowball and snowball, and it's just going to be a beautiful ripple effect. So.
And I want to make sure that everybody subscribes and gives us feedback. We were talking earlier about being lonely and how lonely it can be, and I want to make sure that this is an actual conversation with you out there. So questions that you have, or any feedback that you have, or points that you have in your life, we want to be able to roll this into future shows and in the weeks, and be able to get you more involved with that. Yeah,
and we're going to be doing a bunch of events, and we both have books coming out, so we're going to welcome you into our world and wholeheartedly. Like, I'm ready to cry, because I'm like, ah! So, all right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.